For the first time in more than 3 years, the average interest paid on mortgages has fallen, even if only slightly. It's one of several new data sets that paint a more optimistic picture of the economy, along with a rise in both business and employment confidence. Zane Small has the details.
It's become a landmark in central Wellington, the distinctive hand protruding from Fortune Favours Bar, the brew pub founded by Shannon Thorpe in 2016.
The name Fortune Favours, it came from the phrase fortune favours the brave.
It's a phrase that became particularly relevant last year as he braved an economic slowdown.
I think we've seen the darkest days. I think 2024 was a really tough year for everyone.
There are signs of the economy improving. For example, the Institute of Economic Research's latest survey of around 10,000 businesses found that confidence in the final quarter of last year was at its highest since June 2021, reflecting optimism that many households will likely face lower home loan costs in the coming year. Almost half of borrowers are due to refix in the next 6 months. And Reserve Bank data shows that for the first time since August 2021, the average interest paid on mortgages has fallen, and that's giving businesses reason to feel optimistic.
There continues to be that difference that we're seeing between what's been experienced, which is still pretty weak, and what they're expecting for the coming months.
Westpac's Employment Confidence Index increased in the December quarter. However, it remains close to its lowest levels since 2020. A reading below 100 indicates that more people are pessimistic about the labour market than optimistic.
It's coming off what was quite a low reading last quarter. In fact, that previous one was actually the lowest that we'd seen since the COVID lockdown.
Figures from Stats NZ show the number of filled jobs rose just short of 6,000 in November, mostly in service industries. But filled jobs were down by thousands across healthcare, manufacturing, retail trade and construction. And for every worrying stat, there's a corresponding real-life example.
So we did a restructure of our business and had to let 3 staff go.
People recognise that it's still very tough out there, but there's maybe some early signs of light at the end of the tunnel.
I don't think it's going to be a massively quick spring back, but I think 2025 is going to be a much better year than last year.
Cheers to that idea of better fortunes for brave businesses in 2025.
Well, Zane is with me now. Kia ora, Zane. So we've got an inflation update next week. How might that affect interest rates?
Well, remember that the Reserve Bank has a mandate to keep the annual inflation rate, known as the Consumer Price Index, between 1% and 3%. After the pandemic, it reached a high of 7.3, which triggered those big interest rate hikes to cool demand. Since then, the inflation rate has come down to 2.2. Next week, Westpac is expecting it to fall slightly to 2.1. So that should give the Reserve Bank confidence to keep cutting. However, the big challenge for the Reserve Bank now is keeping the inflation rate to within that 1% to 3% band. Too much easing risks inflation taking off again, but not enough easing risks the economy stagnating. So it really is a careful balancing act. We'll get another update on interest rates from the Reserve Bank next month.
OK, Zane, thanks so much.